What's up guys, welcome back to Inter Talks. Once again bringing you this episode in happy, positive mood thanks to our 1-0 win against our rivals, our mid-table cousins AC Milan. Let's go. Must admit, didn't sleep much last night, still feeling gassed this morning. Awesome team performance, completely deserved win. There's no player I can say a bad word about today. Once again we won thanks to our favourite tactic, crossing. Inshallah, Vecino puts in an amazing ball, albeit blind, kind of hoping and predicting Icardi's movement to the far post. And of course Icardi was there to head it in. Gigio Donnarumma was nowhere to be seen, still chasing the ball like he's chasing that money. Musacchio destroyed by Icardi's movement in and out. So let's get into these player ratings. First of all, Handanovic, of course, was pretty much a spectator for the whole match. Didn't really have to do much apart from work with his feet and passing. On the right, Sima Vršaliko, his first derby as an Inter player. Great performance, probably one of the contenders for man of the match. Solid defensively. Milan attacked a lot down his flank with Rodriguez and Çalhanoğlu often doubling up on him. But he was defensively really solid, and going forward provided some great crosses. He's become sort of our set piece taker from crosses as well on that side, which kind of shows the quality of his crossing. I don't think D'Ambrosio could ever take a corner. So in that regards, he's definitely become an upgrade on D'Ambrosio. Our centre-back pairing, both, I would give him a 7. So solid. Pocketed Higuain, pocketed Suso, pocketed Çalhanoğlu. When they go home today, they're gonna have to clear. They're gonna have to check for coins in their pockets and Higuains and Susos in their pockets. Otherwise, their wives are not gonna be happy if they find them in the washing machine. On the left, Kwadwo Asamoah as a Bob. This was probably his worst match as an Inter player until now, which is disappointing. He's been probably our most consistent and best performer this season up until now. Our midfield today was more of a 4-3-3, as Spalletti confirmed after the match as well, just to match up with Milan's 4-3-3 and have a better balance in that midfield, so we could press each midfielder individually. So starting off with the sort of regista position where Brozovic played in that deep line playmaker position, I would give him a 7, even though he had a massive drop off in the second half, but that was due to a slight injury that he had. Some of you might have seen he had a massive fuck off plaster or bandage on his right knee, right thigh, which is not a good sign. So he was pretty much playing on 1.5 legs in that second half. You can see with some of his passing, and he wasn't running very smoothly. But still, what I commend Brozovic this match was for his defending. Many times he managed to recover the ball with some sliding tackles, especially against Kessie on the run. Showed some real solidity in there as the lone playmaker position. So awesome performance from him. Hopefully, fingers crossed, that injury is not too bad, because we really need him against Barcelona. Moving on to Radja Nainggolan. Awesome performance from him. I'll give him a 7. Unfortunately, his match was cut off short by the MMA tactics from AC Milan players, who were clearly targeting Radja in that match. Some awful tackles flying in on him, especially from Lucas Biglia, which seemed to be the tackle that caused the problem to Radja, that caused him to come off. It's gutting that he is facing a sideline period now, because he was just coming back to top physical form just in the last few matches. You could see him coming to 100% of his form, and now Spalletti says it looks a little bit serious, the injury on his ankle. The other mezzala, the other midfielder, was Matías Vecino. I'm going to say this was his best performance this season. He was non-stop running, as he always is, but this time he complemented that with good passing, good running, not losing the ball stupidly. He was awesome. In the second half, when our midfield ran out of steam, especially with Brozovic playing on the half leg and Borja Valero only having those 20-30 minutes in his old legs. He was the one pretty much carrying the midfield on his back, on his own, and even in the 93rd minute you saw the run he made to the side and that awesome cross he made for Icardi's winner. So definitely my man of the match. I'll give him a 7. Perisic, I would give him a 6.5. Once again, he was brought off with a slight injury. Seemed like a thigh knock that he has. Hopefully, once again, fingers crossed, it's not too serious. We can't be having these injuries as we're hitting some very important matches, and it'll be a very intense period coming up. On the right, our boy Matteo Politano keeps nailing down that right wing spot as his own now. He is pretty much becoming the definite certain starter in that position. Hard worker, great left foot, great dribbling ability, shows a lot of heart. It seems like he's been playing for Inter for years. I'd give him a 6.5. And him as well came off with a little bit of cramps at the end of the match. Hopefully nothing too serious. Front, Capitano, Mauro Icardi. What can I say? The goal speaks for himself. I'd give him a 7. Of course, he scored the winning goal. Our substitutes, Mr. Wisebeard, Borja Valero, had to come on much earlier than he probably expected to, or Spalletti wanted to, with Nainggolan's injury. But he slotted into the midfield really well. The other substitutes, Antonio, Candyman, Candreva, came on for Politano after he left the pitch with cramps. Once again, great impact on the match. Brought on some energy. He has to get used to this new role as not the starter anymore. He was the starter in the last 4 derbies. Now he has to get used to this role of making an impact as a sub. Moving on to Luciano Spalletti, our coach. Give him a 7. Awesome game plan, carried out really well by the team. We pressed Milan every time they tried to play out from the back. That's their style of play. They always play out from the back, and we never let them have an easy build-up. We pressed them continuously. We changed our formation slightly with the 4-3-3 to match against them, so that clearly worked. He beat Gattuso in the tactics game. Really disappointed by Milan, really. I thought this time they were going to play a bit more openly, but they showed that they played a little bit in the way that you expect a small team to play against Inter, the San Siro, waiting for us, sitting deep, waiting for counterattacks, waiting for our mistakes rather than creating their own chances. And what makes me laugh is before the match, the Italian media and Milan fans kept saying this thing like, oh, Milan play better football, Higuain is better than Icardi, there's no Inter player that would get into the AC Milan team, Donnarumma is better than Handanovic, Suso is better than Politano, Çalhanoğlu is better than Perisic. All of these things they were building up before the match that Inter are this ugly team that can't really play good football, they're just physical, and everything that was said was proven wrong. We played the better football. Icardi showed that he's better than Higuain at the moment, and that no Milan player, as me and Anthony previewed last week, no Milan player could get into this Inter team, and still stand by that.
2 hours later.
So moving on to our next match against Barcelona. What a big match. The only negative that we are taking forward into the Barcelona match is these injuries. Perisic, Nainggolan, Brozovic looked like they were all struggling towards the end. Nainggolan is definitely going to be out for this match. Perisic, we'll have to see. And Brozovic, I think, should be okay, but obviously we have to wait for the test that will be carried out today or tomorrow by Inter's medical team. Looking ahead to the match against Barcelona not in the best of forms at the moment. Of course they are up there at the top of the La Liga table, but they're not playing as well as Barcelona fans probably want them to. Of course, they still have an amazing team, but the great news that, of course it is sad that Lionel Messi will be missing, the greatest player of all time in my opinion. Sorry, Ronaldo fans. a shame that we don't get to see him at the San Siro, but it's a great news for Inter. The main problem will be replacing Nainggolan in that position. So it looks like Borja Valero might need to play from the beginning and put more minutes into those old legs. But we'll see. Of course, Icardi will retain his position up front. Barcelona, of course, has some injury worries as well. Thomas Vermaelen, as always, is injured for them. I think Umtiti is a doubt for the match as well. So they have some injury doubts as well to look out for. I'm feeling confident again for this match against Barcelona because they're missing Messi, because we're coming off this 7-win in a row streak, which should be propelling us to new heights, hopefully. We don't need to win this match against Barcelona. So that's it, guys. That was it for today. Awesome performance. Looking forward to Anthony's review coming after the Barcelona match, so look out for that. And as always, Forza Inter!